We want to start today with the 11th year anniversary of the Charleston church shooting. 11 years ago today, a gunman opened fire during a Bible study at Emanuel AME Church in Charleston, killing 9 people. Among them, Cynthia Graham Hurd, a beloved librarian and community leader. Her brother is Charlotte City Councilman Malcolm Graham, for those of you who don't know, who has spent the past decade really turning grief into advocacy. And he joins us this morning here in the Live Impact studio. Councilman Graham, thanks for joining us on this somber anniversary, but you're here today to talk about things. How are you?
I am doing fine, and thank you for the opportunity. And on this day and every day since she passed away, we always talked about how she lived versus how she died, right. The person that she was, the family that she loved, the community of Charleston in which she embraced, right? She was such a treasured advocate in that community. We all were raised in a family where civic engagement, community participation was important, and Cynthia was a librarian in Charleston for 31 years. The library now bears her name. She chaired the Housing Authority in Charleston, and so again, she's such a, we remember how she lived.
Yeah, I mean, and really what a legacy to leave behind. If you would take us back to your perspective, June 17th, 2015, what do you remember about that night waiting for word from Cynthia?
Well, it was not an unusual busy news day that day, and I was breaking one of the cardinal rules in my home with my wife, Kim. No news in the bedroom, and no CNN, no ABC, there's nothing, NBC. And I was breaking the rules, and I was watching the news, and across breaking news, shooting at Emanuel, 9 feared dead, and I called Cynthia to find out what was going on in Charleston, and obviously she didn't answer. The news report got getting worse and worse and worse, all channels, and about 45 minutes later, my niece called and said, hey, we can't find Aunt Cynthia. We think she went to Bible study. And then it kind of starts from there in terms of anxiously waiting, trying to get information, talking to even former Chief Rodney Monroe here in Charlotte at the time, was trying to provide insight what was happening in Charleston for me, and of course I got family down there, so and we know how the story ends.
Sure. I mean, and that church wasn't just her church. This is generational, and you were involved in that church. What does this church mean to you?
Yeah, Emanuel AME Church has been in our family for about 50, 60 years. Mm-hmm. My grandmother went to Emanuel. My mother went there, sung in the choir. Obviously, I attended, found Jesus there. I joined the church. Cynthia did as well. So Sunday school, church choir, Sunday school speeches, right? The whole time. Jesus wept. That was my speech. Thank you very much. Real quick and simple. But you got in front of the church and you kind of gave your little speech. During Easter. And so it was home. It was a place that we all knew very, very well.
I mean, yeah, so rooted in that church. And I mean, I know you've spoken about this before. You didn't share some of the instinct you do now, right? To forgive, to talk about living. You wanted answers first in those first few moments. Walk us through that.
Yeah, I wanted accountability, right? Because the attack on Cynthia and the 8 others, she did not die alone. She died with 8 others, members of the church, all good people, 5 other terrorized who survived the shooting. And so it was an attack against a race of people, not just those who died. Our way of life, our culture, our history, our faith. It was an act of war, because that's what the killer said, that he wanted to start a race war. And so I continued to fight then and now for her and the 8 others that died, and stand up for a race of people that look like me.
Yeah. How did you land where you are today?
Well, through prayer and friends and family and my own personal conviction, I didn't forgive. I don't forgive today. You can't forgive hatred, racism, and discrimination. 400 years of that. Cynthia died the way so many African Americans died, at the hands of someone who didn't like the way we looked, our existence, our being. And so, but I've turned that pain into purpose, right? I've not dwelled on that. We started a foundation in Cynthia's name, the Cynthia Graham Hurd Foundation for Reading and Civic Engagement. The library in Charleston is now named after Cynthia. An anonymous donor contributed $250,000 to start a scholarship at the University of South Carolina, where she got her master's degree from. There's the highest academic scholarship at the College of Charleston, 12 in all, is in her name, the Cynthia Graham Hurd Memorial Scholarship. She worked there at night for 16 years. And so we focus on how she lived, not how she died, and the purpose which she would want me and others to do is find a way forward. And part of that healing was writing a book that was published last year, The Way Forward, and I brought a copy for you.
Yes, I know, and I'm looking forward to this book and talking about it, because in it you talk about exactly that, right? What questions were you trying to answer when you sat down to write this?
Well, it was protecting history. Even right now, there's an attempt to erase Black history from our schools, to erase Black history from Army bases or Navy ships, to do away with DEI. And so I wanted to write a book that summed up my Charleston experience, dedicated to my sister, who was a librarian for 31 years, and walk the reader through the steps I took from, again, when I found out that she may have been involved, to the trial, situations I occurred along the way, meeting Obama for the third time, but him knowing my sister in death. I ran for Congress, and Cynthia said she would help me because she wanted to meet the Obamas. And so obviously I lost that election, and she never got to meet them in life, but she met them in death when he came to Charleston and said Cynthia Graham Hurd found that grace, and met with me and my family afterwards for about 45 minutes. And I told him the story, that how Cynthia wanted to meet him and Michelle. Michelle was there as well. And I said, she really was more interested in meeting Michelle than you, right? And we got a laugh.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we got a laugh out of it.
Wow.
But she met them in death. And so the book talks about those experiences along the way. The Confederate flag, we talk about that. That came down as a result of the Charleston shooting. I was heavily involved with that, working with former Governor Nikki Haley and others. There's a picture of me in the book right behind her when she's signing the bill to bring the flag down, dealing with the issue of forgiveness, right? I just can't do it. Because when you look in modern times today, right, what's happening out of Washington, D.C., our federal government, the type of policies that people are advocating for, it's not going into a church and shooting someone 75 times, but it is an attack against a race of people. It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. And that's why I get up every morning and work so hard to try to represent everyday people who've been feel that they've been left behind, people that feel that they've been targeted, people that feel that our community in Charlotte is growing and without them. And so that's why I do what I do every day.
And so that's what looking forward is to you when you write this. And what does it look like for the country?
I think what it looks like for the country is we have to be able to look at the man in the mirror and critique what we see, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a hard thing to do. And while we're a country and getting ready to celebrate 250 years in a couple of weeks, we have strengths and we have weaknesses too. And I think we need to talk about the weakness that we see in our country, that the thing that continues to hold this country back is race and racism. It's the country Achilles' heels. And there was an overcorrection when Obama won twice, and that we thought we brought this nation together. Now, in modern times, the Trump administration, we're dividing the country. We're pulling it apart. We're targeting people based on their race. We're targeting the history of a culture of people. We're saying that person didn't get the job because somehow they didn't earn it, when in fact that person has a PhD, master's, doctorate, right? Very capable. And you look at the Trump administration, I'm not sure that's our best and brightest, right? Mm-hmm. And so it works both ways.
Sure.
And so we have to critique what we see and be honest about where we are, and not be afraid to talk about race and racism and discrimination, because it exists. Mm-hmm. It's a thing. It's real.
And so as we come up on 250 years and put this in the backdrop of what happened 11 years ago today, do you see it as hypocrisy or a juxtaposition of what's happening? And as you say, it doesn't seem like, are we moving forward?
I think in some cases we're just running in place, right? We're not going forward, not going backwards. We're just kind of stuck in this push and pull, tug of war of, do we want to unite and be one, or do we want to go our separate ways? Right, and it's a pitch and a pill. I think as a country, I think as a city, we are better together. Right, we're all in this together, and so if we accept that as a basic principle for everything that we do, I think we'll be a better nation for it. Certainly here in Charlotte, if we would work together and not separate corporate elites from everyday people, our black folks, that folks, Valentine, we're all in this thing together, right? We're one Charlotte, we're one North Carolina, and we need to be one nation. That's how you move forward.
Easier said than done, of course, right? And so your sister used to say, keep the faith, do the work. You're doing that every day today. When you walk out of here and look forward and walk forward, what can we take away from this book to look forward?
Well, I think that we got to protect and remember our history, right? And so today is not only about remembering what happened 11 years ago, it's a history lesson. And it's calling attention to something that happened 11 years ago that we're still fighting that same fight today. And so it's an opportunity to pause and remember and reflect, but also to dust yourself off and say, okay, we still got more work to do. We got to find a way to pull this country together. We got to find a way to march together. We have to be honest brokers and critique what we see, and not be ashamed to say, yeah, we got some things that we have to do better.
All right. And it's more than conversation, too. What can we do action-wise? What's the call to action?
What's the work, right? So it's voting, right? Because if you don't like the current administration, vote them out, right? It's civic engagement, civic participation. It's being afraid to have honest conversations in your homes or in your workplace, and at the dinner table, about uncomfortable conversations like race and racism and discrimination. It's a thing, it's real, right? And it's just about rolling up your sleeves and finding a way to unite, right? And fix what's broken. You can't see it and not want to fix it.
Fix what's broken. The way forward. Where can we find your book?
Well, you can be with me actually next Thursday, June 25th. I will be at St. Luke Baptist Church at 6:30, and we'll have a book signing, and we'll have some free books giveaway where we'll talk about the book itself and strategies for how we move forward. Reverend Clifford Matthews is the senior minister at the church. He will be hosting and moderating the discussion, and so we continue to do the work.
Continue to do the work. City Councilman Malcolm Graham, marking 11 years of the Emanuel 9 on Charleston AME Church, where his sister was one of 9 victims, Cynthia Graham Hurd. But her legacy lives on through him and us and everybody who knew her. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in.